If you think atheists can't behave like a corrupt megachurch, what happened at NaNocon 2025 will prove you wrong in under 5 minutes. And honestly, what I found out really disturbed me. One of the apostate sisters, Nancy, reported that she was sexually assaulted and strangled by an atheist organizer at NaNocon 2025. And let me be clear, I don't care about protecting any in-group, any influencer, or any social circle in this space. I'm 63 years old. I'm not here to play popularity games. What disturbed me even more was what happened next. Nancy says she was assaulted, and instead of compassion or accountability, several prominent atheist influencers immediately moved to discredit her. They smeared her, dismissed her, and implied degrading things about her character, all to protect reputations, attendance numbers, and their own influence. The same people who criticize religion for cover-ups started running the exact same playbook, and it really stinks. Let's talk about it. NaNocon 2025 exposed something very ugly. Not just an allegation, but a culture of denial, deflection, circling the wagons, and protecting the leader at all costs. And the loudest defenders weren't pastors or priests. They were atheists and skeptics, including godless engineer. The reaction looked identical to what megachurches do when one of their own is accused. And frankly, it's disturbing. If that hits you in the chest, good, because this isn't atheist drama. This is a case study in how power corrupts communities that swear that they're immune. Atheists on YouTube love to say that they value truth, transparency, and accountability. But when Nancy came forward reporting that she was sexually assaulted at NaNocon, the response wasn't skepticism. It wasn't compassion. It wasn't, let's investigate this really seriously. It was, stop talking. You're hurting the community. That's not rationality. That's not critical thinking. That's schoolyard bully psychology being used to control a narrative. And the pattern was identical to what you see in high control religious institutions. Minimize the harm, discredit the victim, protect the popular figure, attack anyone who asks a question, and pretend it's for the good of the community. What BS. Atheists love to say they're better than religion, but when the pressure hits, some run the same exact playbook, and they should know better. One of the laziest points thrown at Nancy was that her story changed. That means she's lying. No. Anyone who understands trauma psychology knows that variation in detail is normal. It's not a flaw. It's a feature of how memory works under stress. It's actually a confirmation of the trauma. Different details told to different people is not evidence of dishonesty in these types of situations. It's evidence that she's human. But instead of engaging with reality, some people in the community jumped straight to character attacks because it was easier than confronting the possibility that their community isn't immune to the same abuses that they criticize in religion. It's total hypocrisy. Now let's talk about the so-called investigation. There was an internal investigation run by the convention that was run by the allies of the accused. Yes, you heard that right. If someone is a friend or partner of the accused, they shouldn't be anywhere near an investigation involving him. That's basic ethics. That's common sense. That's skepticism 101. But that's exactly what happened. Friends of the accused were involved in an internal investigation. Imagine a megachurch saying, "Don't worry, the pastor's best friend looked into it. Everything's fine." We would tear them apart for that. So why in the world would it be acceptable here? The accused organizer lawyered up quickly and was told to remain silent. That part is very standard. But what's not standard is what filled the silence. Loyalists rushing in to control the narrative, defend the accused, and protect the group's image. That's exactly what high control groups do. The leaders stay quiet. The followers do the talking. And the truth gets buried under the protect the brand at all cost mentality. Now let's talk about godless engineer. Someone I watched for years. Someone I once respected. Okay, this is someone that I literally have seen on YouTube for many years, some of which I was deconstructing. Okay, and the fact is, I even kind of suggested people watch him. Okay, I left a comment on one of his videos, not attacking anyone, not taking sides, just pointing out the obvious patterns. And the response I got from him and his wife was totally dismissive. It was, "Get a grip. Your comments come from ignorance." What the heck? That's a hell of a stance for people who claim to value free speech and critical thinking. But it fits the pattern perfectly. Shut down dissent, mock the critic, protect the in-group, maintain the hierarchy, and keep the brand clean. This isn't leadership. This isn't skepticism. This is image management and it's public relations. And I'm not someone who gets bullied into silence. I don't care about maintaining credibility with people who think that their social circle matters more than accountability. Nancy deserves better. Victims deserve better. And the atheist community deserves better. If atheists want to claim moral high ground over religion, if they want to say they're more rational, more ethical, more committed to truth, then they need to act like it when it matters most. You don't get to criticize megachurches for covering up abuse and then turn around and do the same thing when it's one of your own. You don't get to preach skepticism and then shut down anyone who asks uncomfortable questions. You don't get to claim you're better than religion while replicating the exact same psychological defense mechanisms that religious institutions use to protect their corrupt leaders. If your community can't handle allegations without circling the wagons, you're not a skeptic, you're a loyalist. NaNocon 2025 didn't just expose an allegation. It exposed a culture within the atheist community, a rotten, despicable culture, a culture of protecting the group instead of protecting people, a culture of loyalty over accountability, a culture of status over truth. If atheists want to be taken seriously as a community that values reason and ethics, then this behavior needs to be called out loudly, clearly, and without apology. Because skepticism doesn't mean defending your friends. It means defending the truth and standing up for victims of sexual assault, even when it's inconvenient. Nancy deserves better. This community deserves better. This entire space deserves better than leaders who act like megachurch gatekeepers when the heat gets turned up. This must stop. It's not good. It's a horrible thing. And I want to tell you clearly, I'm against any type of this behavior. I'm an atheist. I'm a skeptic, but I'm no butt kisser, and I have nothing to do with conventions or organizations that cover up SA in the real world. Now, if you appreciate the things I'm doing on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment to my videos. I read every single one of them, and I try to get back personally to each comment. And if you would, click that notification bell. It really does matter with the algorithm. And one last thing, if you do want to support my channel in a very small financial way, you can buy me a coffee. That link is in the description. Until next time, folks, think rationally, stay honest, and be happy.